What's going on, YouTube? We are having a little dirt work done, I guess you could say. This is something I hired out because I don't have a track hoe and I don't have a skid steer. And that's really the only way you can do this. So for those of you who don't know, this is our house. We have a barn dominium and kind of a bad angle here, but maybe I'll do a video about the whole thing someday. But anyways, we had a in-ground pool that we got maybe 9 years ago, and it was buried almost all the way in the ground out here just off our patio. And I had a deck that went, I don't know, 3/4 of the way around it, and landscaping and a bunch of nice stuff. Well, we're down to one kid left in the house, and he's about to graduate, and who knows where life will take him. So we're gonna be empty nesters, I guess, here before too terribly long. And you know, the pool needed a new liner, and it was fun while it lasted, but the last couple years especially, just can't justify the use and the, you know, the chemicals or the product to keep it up, and the maintenance time to maintain it and clean it and all that stuff, and the electricity too. So we decided it's a good time to go without it. So this, I probably mentioned in several other videos, and I tried my best to not let the camera catch much view of this disaster that was here because it was just embarrassing. And so anyway, I've had a guy out, and he started some of the dirt work. So I wanted to just show you what I got going on and the progress. And it still looks awful, but not quite as bad as it did, I guess. We're seeing a little progress. So I'm gonna turn you around here and we'll take a look. So this is where the pool was, and the deck went up to kind of the edge of this flagstone and the edge of this patio. There's a portion of the deck that's over there, and that's actually gonna stay because I don't want the dirt going up to the very edge of the pavilion concrete pad there. So, you know, I'm still cluttered up over here. I've got deck boards stacked up and kind of got some stuff just shoved over here, and until I can get all this wrapped up. But this deck, this portion of this deck is going to stay, and the boards down there were rotted out, so I'm going to replace those and then reuse this Trex deck, and that's what'll go here out to that edge. Then let me get out of the glare of the sun here. So there'll be a large landscape bed right here, all the way over to the deck and then to the concrete here. And then another one here. There's already a big, well, my finger's gonna screw up the view of the camera there. But there's already a landscape bed back there. So that'll get extended around probably to, you know, about here. That'll be a real big landscape bed. And then this little area down in here was actually where the filter and pump was. And that's what the little retaining wall area there and the electricity, that's what that's about. So that's gonna get filled in, and I'm probably gonna put a koi pond right there or something like that. And then this middle area One of the problems we had when we had the pool was when it rains, the water, when it rains hard, the water off this pasture comes right up into here, and it's cut so it goes around both sides of the house. But when it comes around this side of the house, you can see, where did it go? Right into our pool. Now, it had to rain a lot for that to happen, but it did happen. Usually about once a year in the spring it would happen. So what I'm doing is I've got to take out a little bit of this flagstone, and then that water will run right here, and it'll flow perfectly down right here, and then off that way where the skid steer tracks are into this pond down here. This is a small pond, and it's not deep, and I call it a seasonal pond. It dries up every summer, and none of the cattle are up here, so it's not good for much. The dogs trudge around in it, and but that's about it. We can't stock it because it doesn't hold water. But anyway, the water naturally wants to flow right through here. So I'm gonna get about a 20-foot pond liner and roll it out starting back here and make a dry creek bed that goes down into that pond. And so there'll be a liner down, and then there will also be rock, boulders, some big river rock, stuff that won't wash away when it rains real hard. But you can see they moved some of these boulders that were right here. These are some big old boulders here, but they were right here. So they moved those. A couple more over here. That was kind of a retaining wall on the back side of the pool. So you can tell kind of a different angle here. From this stone over to there, this whole area will be landscaping. And then same thing, like I said before, over there, closer to that, basically on both sides of this dry creek bed. And then this dry creek bed will come down to here. This right here is just a natural, I call it a water willow, but it's huge, and it's a nasty tree. It's very weak, very fast growing, very weak. And there's 3 of them on this pond, and they soak up a ton of water, and they're just not good to have around your pond. So the guy that I hired is going to have his track hoe. He's going to tear those out, and he'll have those out in 5 minutes each with a track hoe. So that's super exciting. So the creek bed will come down into here, and go into the pond. So this pond was the dam over here is pretty tall, but the other 3 sides are not. And so this didn't hold a whole lot of water. So I'm hoping digging this out will help get the silt out for sure. But he's already dug. You can see where he's dug here. Around, there was about a 10 or so foot diameter circle of water in the middle, and that's already gotten smaller. But you can see what he did to get some dirt to fill in the hole over there was he went around this, scraped out all the way around it, and he kind of left a layer of kind of a dam of dirt all the way around where this little tiny bit of water is. Got dirt from all the way around it, and when the track hoe gets here, he can dig this out, let the water spill into a deeper hole over here, and then he can get the rest of this dirt. And then this will all be graded smooth. This will all look awesome when he's done. You can see some of this here. He had dug a deep hole right here, and you can see where he took a scoop out of that right there, and it let a lot of that water go over to here. There's not a lot of water here, but this is still super wet, super muddy, and that helped alleviate a lot of this. So you can see, here's another one of these, like I said, water willow there and there, and they're nasty. I mean, they soak up all the water. They're not even pretty. I mean, they're just ugly. So there's a better look at that one. They're just nasty. So I'll come back around here with some trees that are a little bit, well, a lot prettier and aren't so weak, you know. These limbs are always falling off and they're just a mess. But anyway, like I said, we're down in here. This will make this, I don't know, when he's done. I mean, a lot more dirt's coming out of this. So I don't know how deep this will be, but we'll see. So there's kind of a view. I'm not quite at the bottom because there's water down in here, but kind of a view along the edge here. There's Duke. So that's that. Like I said, this isn't something, I do have a tractor, and it's, you know, it's a nice sized tractor. But when you get hauling this heavy dirt and you're not on level surfaces, and I mean, there's a dozen or more reasons I can think of why this wouldn't be super safe to do with just a loader tractor. I don't feel like turning my tractor over. It's just not worth it. Not to mention, this guy is a professional, and I'll share the name of the company, but I want to ask permission first. I just kind of decided to make this video kind of impromptu, so I don't want to say the name of the company unless, you know, he wants me to. So anyways, I think, I mean, it doesn't look like much right now, but we're looking a lot better than we did, and it's only gonna get better. So I'm pretty excited about having this done. This has been quite the eyesore for well over a year, and well, probably about a year. And I know Chief is ready for it to look presentable, and I am too. But anyways, don't you love this Oklahoma red dirt? Man, oh man. Sometimes you forget how red it is until you see this much of it just bare like this, and you really realize how red it is. But anyways, I'm gonna keep this video going until he comes back, and I'll give kind of progress updates and let you see what he's doing. You know, as he goes, we'll see the progress, see how things turn out. So you probably won't see this video for a while, but hopefully when you do, you enjoy it. So until then, take care, stay warm, and we'll see you in a bit. Morning, folks. All right, we're back here at the homestead. I've got the dirt work guy here. And I'll tell you what, this ground is frozen solid, but it's no match for this track hoe. So he's just scraping out the edge of the pond there, and then he's gonna get back to tearing out some willow trees that soak up all the water from the edge of the pond. They just naturally grow. Huge pain in the butt. They're terrible. He's also got the skid steer here to move the dirt. So I forgot my stocking hat in the shop, and so I'm gonna head in there and get that because it's cold. I think we're in the single digits, so pretty chilly. We'll be back here shortly. right, so it's the end of the second full day of work here. And some of these water willows were huge. So that's gonna get all hauled. I'm gonna take a little portion of fence down on the south side of the pond over here. And there's a flat spot over there. They're going to move the stumps and the branches and stuff onto that flat spot. I think we're supposed to get rain next week, so really got to get this all done and smoothed out and equipment out of here before we get any rain at all. So we're looking good. Now you got to use a little vision. The canoe landscape bed here is going to get moved tomorrow, but I'm going to turn you around here. So this is where the dry creek bed will be, with a liner and rock. And then I kind of framed out the front of this with big boulders that I had here. And I've got more boulders that are gonna go in on both sides here and there tomorrow. So there'll be deck there, landscape bed, and this will all be landscape bed over here. And I think the canoe is gonna go right on top right here. So we'll see. So I forgot to ask these guys again today if they care if I share their company name. I'll definitely do that before this video is uploaded, just in case anybody needs some dirt work done here in central Oklahoma. I'm not really sure how far they travel, but I have been very, very pleased. So stay tuned for tomorrow. All right, end of day 3. This is why you hire the pros sometime. I don't know. Chief thought maybe I could rent a Bobcat skid steer and do this myself. And I could have, but it probably taken me 2 years. And the biggest thing is sometimes, especially on projects like this one, I'm on a schedule. This pond was almost completely dry. He had to work around just a little bit of water, and that was it. And it's hard to time it where we're dry enough. And this worked out great because the ground was frozen. He didn't tear up my yard bringing in equipment. And he got the job done. And I'm very happy with it. I'm standing at the bottom of the pond. Now this thing's only probably 8 foot deep in the middle. It's not that deep. I would have loved to have gone a lot deeper, but there's not a good way to get dirt in and out of here. So this is what I got. I think in the future, I'd love to put a liner in this pond and have it, hold water. That would just be awesome. So a little look around. The big willows are gone. They're actually stacked up over there. And you couldn't have done that without a track hoe. He had a grapple on a track hoe, and he just ripped them out of the ground, broke the branches up, ripped them out of the ground, carried them over there, set them off to the side. That's to deal with another day, but we're expecting rain all next week. So if we would have waited, this is not just something that I can do in 2 days, renting a piece of equipment. Not me anyway. Other people could, but not me. So we've got the pond cleared out all the way around. This is actually the dam side behind me here. The dam side is a lot higher than everywhere else. It's just the way it was originally. this little footbridge back here, all the boards are broken on it. I'm gonna fix that up someday. But here we are. This thing is probably 120 long by maybe 70 or 80 wide, maybe 130, 140 long. But let's walk up here and I'll kind of show you how everything ended with the rocks and the dry creek bed. So this is where all the water will come into the pond. I mean, not all of it, but some of it. You'll have to pardon the sun. This is actually a dry creek bed where my gutters dump out at the top up here. And also the overflow from my windmill, my water pumper. So any overflow from the stock tank goes down into there. I had to kind of tear this liner up, but you get the picture. So this liner will merge in with this liner, and this will all have rock on it. But, well, I think that turned out nice. I hope you can see it all right. That sun's kind of right in the way here. These are all boulders that I had, so I didn't have to buy these. We moved the canoe to the top up there like I talked about. I've had that as a planter for 5 or 6 years probably. So that is gonna look real good up there, I think. This side over here, I'll get some more rock and fill it in there. But right there, that's where the water runs. I've got to take a little bit more of this flagstone out to open that up, start the liner right back here somewhere. And like I said, this will all be rock, so it won't wash out. This is where our hot tub was. And we moved it up under the porch and we like it way better, way better. But this is such a nice little pad and I've got electric out here. Eventually, we'll probably build a real nice playhouse right here for some grandkids. That's the plan. So, like I said, landscaping all over there. Landscaping over here. Probably plant at least two big nice shade trees in this bed to get some nice shade on the pavilion and this patio. And then since most of the deck is still there and I've got all the Trex deck and everything, I've got to buy some 2x6s for down here. But that's it, and the Trex deck's already laying there, and I mean, I may as well use it. So that will be a little bit of deck. That way we can have some space on the edge of this pavilion here. So, that's that. Well, hope you enjoyed this video. I figured I may as well document it, at least for me and Chief. We can look back on it someday and say, wow, look at how big of a difference it was. But, you know, I guess a little bit of a lesson out of this video is sometimes you just got to hire pros, and that's all right. So, dog's chasing the cat there. Anyway, we're gonna close this one out, and it's getting cold again, so I'm gonna head in. But we'll see you on the next video, and take care until then.